You ever have one of those days when you just want a little peace, maybe browse a bookstore, smell the paper, lose yourself in a story, and suddenly someone decides you are the villain of their day? That was me, hoodie on, day off, minding my business, when a regular customer stormed up to me, snapping, "You can't just stand there while I'm waiting for help." I wasn't even working. But what happened next? Oh, it was poetic justice. Hey everyone, welcome back to Money Mastery Hub's Reddit revenge stories, where karma comes with a receipt. If you've ever been blamed for something you didn't do, or wished for one perfectly timed moment of vindication, hit subscribe, drop a like, and stick around. Because this story proves that sometimes doing nothing is the most satisfying revenge of all. Let's dive in. So, here's the thing. I work at a small, cozy bookstore. Not one of those giant chain stores with sterile lighting and endless shelves, but a little local shop that smells like coffee and dusted pages. The kind of place where the floors creak, the regulars know your name, and your boss actually cares whether you're having a good day. I love my job. It's peaceful, grounded, a quiet sanctuary from the chaos outside. But that day, I wasn't there to work. I had the day off. I'd been planning it all week. Coffee in hand, and earbuds in, maybe finally pick up that fantasy novel I'd been eyeing for months. When you work retail, those little off days feel sacred. They're not just days off. They're a mental reset, a moment to just exist without being someone's, machine. So, I stroll into the store in my hoodie, totally out of uniform, and start browsing. I'm halfway through flipping the back cover of a paperback when I feel this sharp tap on my shoulder. I turn around and there she is. If you've ever worked retail, you know the type. Perfectly manicured nails, designer purse, that look like she's perpetually 3 seconds away from complaining to a manager. The kind of customer who sees service workers not as people, but as part of the D-Gate core. Before I can even say, "Hey," she snaps, "Chore. Excuse me, I've been waiting for someone to help me. You can't just stand there?" Now, mind you, I've got no name tag, no apron, nothing that says I work there. Just a hoodie and jeans. Still, I try to be polite. "Sure. Oh, sorry," I tell her. I'm actually off today. Her eyes narrow, like she just caught me confessing to a crime. "You're still in the building, aren't you?" she says, like that's some kind of law. I blink, confused. "Yeah, as a customer," I reply, gesturing to the stack of books I'm holding. She crosses her arms, lips pursed. Unbelievable. This is exactly what's wrong with people these days. No work ethic? Now, normally, I just walk away. But there was something about the way she said it. That self-righteous tone that dripped with entitlement. That made my blood boil just a little. Still, I kept my cool. I shrugged and said, "Sorry, ma'am. You'll have to ask someone else for help." That should have been the end of it. But, oh no, not for her. She raises her voice, loud enough that half the store turns their heads. "Sure, get me your manager." No. At this point, I'm half embarrassed, half amused. I'm not even working, but apparently I'm about to have a talk with my boss. So she marches to the counter, heels clacking like gunshots, muttering under her breath about lazy employees. I follow at a distance because this is about to get interesting. Our manager, Claire, is behind the register, calm, kind, the human embodiment of herbal tea. She looks up, instantly reading the situation like a seasoned pro. The woman points at me, fuming. "Chop, this one refuses to help customers. She was just standing around doing nothing. You need to do something about her." Claire blinks, then looks at me. Hoodie, no badge, book in hand, and just tilts her head. "Oh, hey," she says, smiling. "You're off today, right?" I nod, and the woman's jaw drops. You could practically hear her ego deflating. Her lips twitch, like she's searching for words, but all that comes out is a sputtered, "Chore." Well, she was here. She could've. She should've. Claire stays calm, completely unbothered. "Chore. She's not on the clock, ma'am. I can have someone else help you, though." The woman's face turns red. The kind of red you only see in cartoons. She lets out this dramatic huff, grabs her purse like it's a sword, and storms toward the exit muttering, "Chore. No one wants to work anymore." The door chimes as she leaves, and the store goes quiet for a second. Then everyone just bursts out laughing. Now, here's where the poetic justice comes in. That phrase, no one wants to work anymore. It's like nails on a chalkboard to anyone who's ever worked customer service. We do want to work. We just don't want to be treated like disposable robots. In that moment, I realized something. Her anger wasn't really about me. It was about control. She couldn't stand the idea that someone she perceived as beneath her wasn't at her command. People like her don't see you as a person with a life, a day off, or boundaries. They see you as background noise, an extra in the movie of their own importance. So, my revenge. It wasn't loud, it wasn't petty, it was the calmness, the truth that she couldn't touch. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't apologize for existing. I just stood there, completely at peace, while reality slapped her harder than any comeback ever could. And honestly, that was beautiful. Later that day, when I went to check out, Claire chuckled and said, "Chore, you handled that perfectly." You'd be amazed how often people forget that employees are allowed to be human. But we both laughed. But underneath, there was something deeper. That shared exhaustion. The kind that only people who've worked retail understand. The customers who talk down to you. The fake smiles you plaster on because the customer is always right. The moments you just want to scream, but can't, because your paycheck depends on your patience. That woman didn't just humiliate herself in front of everyone. She exposed a truth that so many of us live with every day. As I left the store that afternoon, book in hand and heart oddly light, I couldn't help but grin. She thought she'd embarrassed me. But in the end, she'd only managed to embarrass herself. And the best part, I didn't have to lift a finger. No yelling, no snarky comeback, no scene. Just the simple, poetic beauty of being right, without needing to prove it. Sometimes revenge isn't fire or fury. Sometimes it's peace. It's knowing that the people who look down on others will always trip over their own arrogance. And that's exactly what she did. The lesson. Respect costs nothing. We all have bad days, but that doesn't give anyone the right to make someone else's worse. If she had just treated me like a person, or even just taken a second to listen, she could have gotten help faster, maybe even with a smile. Instead, her temper became her downfall. Karma doesn't always need a grand finale. Sometimes, it's as simple as watching someone's entitlement collapse under its own weight. If you've ever worked retail, you probably have your own, Karen, story. And I'd love to hear it. Drop it in the comments below. And let's build a hall of fame for everyday heroes who survive customer chaos. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and turn on that bell. Because here at Money Mastery Hub, we don't just tell stories. We celebrate justice, one satisfying revenge at a time.